start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions,
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
All right. All right. What's up, people? How you doing? Welcome to the Tim Black at Night Show. Welcome to Freedom Friday. That's right. I'm pumped up. I'm ready for tonight's show. I hope you are too. Let me welcome everybody on Periscope, all my people out there in Facebook world, all my folks out there in YouTube land. Let's do it, man. You know how we start the show. We start the show with a monologue, and then we go to phone calls. But now it's time for the comedy stand-up portion of the show. Let's do that. And switch it. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. All right. Let's do this. All right. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? It's your man, Tim Black. Let me ask y'all a question. I'm serious, man. How do you almost lose to a child molester? Seriously. How do you almost lose to a child molester? At anything. Come on. I mean, I've been seeing some the Democratic Party almost lost to a child molester, and they walking around with their chest out. Look, if you win a boxing match against a guy with no arms, your ass don't need to be. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, motherfucker. That's right, motherfucker. That's right. How dare you come back up in here? You know how I do. You know how I do. Sir, your opponent had no arms. A win's a win. A win is a win, right? Oh, come on, guys. The Democratic Party, they barely beat Roy Moore by the skin of their chinny chin chin. The skin of their teeth, they beat this guy. And they're walking around. You know? That should be against the law, man. You can't be full of shit that much. Come on. Come on, man. Your brand is garbage. Look, that... I'm just saying, man, you can't, there's no bragging rights, man. Like, I remember when I was, when I was in elementary school, and I liked this girl a whole lot, so I wrote her a note that I wanted to, I wanted to get a chance, Real respectable. Wrote a note. Will you be my girlfriend? If yes, come on, y'all know how this go. Then you write yes, no, maybe. That's what I wrote in the letter, Folded it up real nice, sat it on her desk, And she picked up the note one day. She picked up the note when she came into class. And she took that note. She balled it up and threw it across the room. She balled up the note. She threw the note across the room. And I was disgusted by that. I was. Because I really thought she was cute. And I really wanted to have a chance. I was a kid. But turns out, she ended up being the pee-pee girl in the class. So yeah, I felt better then, because sometimes when you lose, you win. That's what the lesson of that shit is. Sometimes you win. So I ended up not being with the pee-pee girl. And so like Doug Jones, he's like the pee-pee. He's like the pee-pee girl in my story. Just saying. I'm serious, man. Doug Jones, look, man, Roy Moore he was a horrible candidate. He's still campaigning, though. He's still campaigning. He's still putting out CDs. Guy got a mixtape out. Nobody likes Roy Moore, except half of Alabama. God. Oh, man. No one likes Roy Moore. But you can't, there's no bragging rights in beating Roy Moore, man. Anybody should be able to beat Roy Moore. The fact that this shit went in 12 rounds, this is just embarrassing. Why is there no one taking that tact? Why is no one saying, when you cut on CNN, you guys watch CNN or MSNBC, some of you do. It's a condition you have. It's called corporate lie, media, trance. You're hypnotized by that. That's got to be why you watch that shit. I try my best not to watch it. In fact, the only time I see CNN and MSNBC is when I go to somebody else's house and they already got it on. I'll turn to stone if I watch that stuff. It's like Medusa. But why isn't anyone on MSNBC or CNN saying the obvious, which is the fact that this went so close? The fact that it was only 1 point difference. That says something about the Democrats. Why nobody saying that? There's a level of dishonesty that's through the roof. The dishonesty of the media is through the roof. They just want Democrats to feel better, man. You got to win. You won. You beat the no-arm guy in the boxing match. Good for you. Way to go. You, man. You. Bad mofo. No, man. Roy Moore is a horrible candidate. He's so bad that both Trump and Steve Bannon are telling him to go sit down. That's who's really upset. Steve Bannon's upset. He's like, damn, I got in an argument with Trump over you. You could beat Doug Jones. Doug Jones, let's talk about Doug Jones for a minute. For a lot of you out there, you don't even know the hell Doug Jones is. Doug Jones, his slogan was, I'm not him. I'm not Roy Moore. Not Roy Moore. That was his slogan. That's it. His claim to fame is he's not the other guy. In fact, isn't that the entire Democratic Party platform? They ran that shit in 2016 against Trump. That was Hillary's whole campaign. I'm not Donald Trump. See how well that shit worked? Didn't work at all. But for some reason it worked this time. But it took to be going up against a pedo for that to work. And still, it barely worked. This is what I'm trying to say. How can I express this enough? How can I express it enough? Doug Jones has the personality of a dead slug. He's as interesting as beige paint. You know, like when you move into an apartment, they're all painted beige. Doug Jones is the equivalent of a screensaver. God. Listening to a Doug Jones speech is like listening to, I don't know, wind blow. He's exciting. He's as exciting. Gosh, man, Doug Jones is as exciting as 12 hours, 12 hours straight of I don't know, man, of grass growing. I'm serious, man. Doug Jones, man, he's a very disinteresting kind of guy, man. It's like nothing. Every once in a while, you got to walk over to him and make sure he's still breathing. Like, this is going to be a short-lived win for the Democratic Party, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. He's going to be out of there next term. Don't worry. He's going to be out of there. Yeah, man, I don't even know what he's about. Nothing. He's about nothing. Everybody brings up that one thing Doug Jones did. And that's all he needed was one thing against Roy Moore, which was he did try and convict some KKK members, man, who bombed the church, man. He went back, he did that. So give it up for that. Give it up for that. Give it up for that. That ain't enough, though. Like, but it's enough against Roy Moore. What you been doing otherwise, Doug? Well, I've been voting for the TPP, and I support fracking, and I love interventionist wars, and shut up, Doug, shut up. You're going to lose this shit. Stop talking. Stop talking, Doug. No more talk. No more talk. Shut it up. God. Oh, yeah. But you know your brand is toast when you barely beat Roy Moore. That's horrible, man. That's horrible. I just don't want them to have a false sense of security like somebody likes them. You know, don't make the mistake of thinking that this means you're back in Democratic Party. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You know, you get too high on your high horse. Oh, we're on a run. We're on a roll. Yeah, you're on a roll, all right. A roll down the hill. Yeah, man, but still, I'm still happy that Roy Moore lost, man. This guy is horrific, man. He was horrific, and look, I care about it because I care about the people of Alabama, man. They deserve better, man. They deserve better. They deserve better than someone who shares their values exactly like they. God. That's the thing. I can't get off of it. I gotta stay there for a while. I watched a Vice segment where they were down there interviewing people in Alabama, potential voters, and they were all Roy Moore supporters. And there was a lady on this clip. Anybody seen this clip? There was a lady there. It wasn't that she did not believe the allegations against Roy Moore. She just didn't give a shit. You should have seen the guy asking the questions. The host was like, but but ma'am, he molested a young girl. She's like, well, what did the young girl have on? What do you expect from him? It's like, ma'am, Jesus, she was only 14 years old. And some hick, when I say hick, I mean, like he just, there's some guy dragging his leg from the Stone Age. He said the most awful shit you could probably say. Well, wasn't too long ago in Alabama, we all were dating 13, 14-year-olds. This is a regular thing here in Alabama. I'm like, oh, my God. This is horrific. Remember, we're talking about in the 70s. We're not talking about the 1870s. I lost a little hope in humanity after watching that video. And I realized when people talk shit about the South, the deep, deep South, So I used to think that was just like kind of borderline bigot, you know. They talk about the South. I'd be like, it can't be that bad. I'm a damn fool. It is that bad. It's that bad. These people were excusing child molestation because it suited their party. God. Man. Lord have mercy, man. I'm trying to tell you. A lot of black people were happy this week. Oh, man, I ain't seen black people this happy since, I don't know. I haven't seen black people this happy since, something made black people really happy. Since that girl off of Suits got engaged to Prince Harry or whatever his name is. Oh, they were happy, man. They were happy. You know why they were happy? A lot of black people were happy because, what's his name? What are they happy about? Black people were happy. They were happy because Omarosa got a wake-up call. She got a wake-up call, man. I saw a homeless black guy today. It's cold outside D.C. He's just smiling. Just smiling. It's like, damn, dude, how you doing, brother? Here you go, man. Hey, man, you notice his yellow teeth. He just smiles like, man, why are you so happy? He said, that bitch Omarosa got her wake-up call. That's why. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Can I buy you a cup of coffee? My thing with Omarosa, man, is she always has this air like she think her shit don't stink. That's what it is. That's why people don't like her, man. That's one thing about black folks, man. We do not like anybody who has really a big ego. You know, that we can't stand that. Especially people who got a really big ego because they think they're accepted by, white folks or something. Like, that's their really claim to fame because, like, Omarosa's really done nothing except be on the Trump show. That's it. She ain't never, cured a disease or put out a hot CD or did a movie, won an Oscar, nothing. She just was on The Apprentice, that's it. Did you hear some of the statements from the White House? They were talking about her. Did you hear some of the stuff? They were saying, Sean Spicer said, I think it was Sean Spicer, he was scared as shit to talk about Omarosa because he knows Omarosa's trying to sell them books right now. He was careful. He was careful on that show. He don't want to say anything that'll piss Omarosa off because, she's ready to write that book. She's going to make a chapter about his ass. But I don't know who said it. Somebody said Omarosa didn't have a portfolio. They don't know why they hired her. And they asked Sean Spicer, why did Trump hire her to begin with? What does she know how to do? I mean, she's a really nice person, but what does she know how to do? You can see Sean's face. He wanted to tell the truth, but he couldn't. In his face, I could see him saying, she's really not a nice person, first of all. She's an asshole, first of all. Second of all, she does nothing. Trump made up a position because he wanted somebody black in the office. And what do you think of Sarah Huckabee Sanders' lying ass? Oh, man, she lied like a rug. Talking about here at the... She's like, Sarah's like, in the White House, we strive to, we're really focused on diversity, and we try to exemplify and make our cabinet and the White House be just like the projection of the American people. We want to resemble the American people in the diversity. Shut your lying ass up, Sarah Huckabee. Ain't no black people in the White House. What diversity? No, I thought you must have thought they said university. They went to a university because there ain't no damn diversity in the White House. Hell, Omarosa was the black representative. She was the black people in the White House. Her, one person. Yeah, I tell you, man, it's sad. It's sad. That's what it is. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Oh, man. Omarosa. And she got that wake-up call pretty quick. Hey, man, but you notice Charles Barkley's trying to uncoon himself. Yeah, he's trying to roll back roll back his image. You know, because typically anything, and I mean anything, any negative thing he could say about black people, he'd say quick. See, white people don't know this about Charles Barkley because by and large, white people agree with him. But to us, Charles Barkley's a sellout in a lot of ways. I don't care what it is. Little 11-year-old black girl gets handcuffed and at gunpoint by officers in, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Charles Barkley will be like, well, I don't know why was she outside? All this time she's outside. She should have been inside. That's the problem. That's the problem with black kids. They be outside. You know you don't need to be outside all this time, Ernie. That's the problem I see with black kids. They be outside too much. All this time, if they just not be outside, then they won't get in trouble. You know. But, you know, Charles Barkley, you got to give it up for Charles Barkley if you're happy about Roy Moore not being in office because he really went down there and did a good job. Give it up for Charles Barkley. Go ahead, Charles. Chuck it. Chuck. Woodchuck. Good Chucky. You know, you mess around, Chuck will say anything though, man. I heard he wanted to be a politician. Chuck is like Trump. He say the wrong shit all the time. In fact, Chuck almost snatched respectability from the jaws of respectability. He almost did because he was being interviewed, right, on the night that Doug Jones won. And he went off in the, first he was on point. First, Chuck was telling it, he was making all the right comments. At first, he was like, this is a good win. This is a good win for the Democrats. Democrats need to give black people something. They need to get off their butts and take care of black people because black people is who got them elected. Then he went right off the road and right down in the ditch. He's like, yeah, in Alabama, I love my Alabama. I love Alabama. I was sitting there like, here we go. I love Alabama, but come on, Chuck. I know you're gonna say something messed up. Go ahead and say something messed up, Chuck. We know how you do. Chuck said, yeah, we might have a lot of rednecks. Yeah, we got a lot of rednecks in Alabama, and we got some no good. And I was like, go ahead and say, I know what you want to say, because you just said something about white folks. I know you're gonna say something about black folks. Go ahead. He said, ignorance. Ignorant people in Alabama. Yeah, I know what you wanted to say, Chuck. I know what you want to say. If you said redneck, do you want to go the other way? Want to say niggas? That's what you want to say. That's what he wanted to say, but he didn't say it. He was going through his mind of what he thought he can get away with. I'll tell you, man. But Chuck, he did pledge to give $1 million to some black women organizations in Alabama to help them start a tech company. So give it up for that. It's great. So, hey, you got respect. Still, I ain't too sure about you, Chuck. You be on some BS. Be on some bullshit, Chuck. You'll be on bullshit. Oh man, what else happened that's worth talking about, Tim? What else you got over here, Tim? Child molester, Omarosa, Charles Barkley. Catch a predator. God. Oh man. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm just focused on what's coming up next. I'm focused on what's coming up next. I think I think this has been a very interesting so far. Paul Ryan's talking about quitting Congress. He's talking about quitting politics, not quitting Congress, quitting politics. Quitting politics. Say he's done with politics. He don't want to be in it no more. Does he know he gonna get his ass kicked, get it handed to him in the 2018 midterms? Yeah, he knows what's gonna happen. So he's starting to think about an exit plan. Yeah. That's that tax bill, man. A lot of people just don't understand that tax bill is not good. Just because you get a little bit of extra money right now, what they're going to do is they're going to cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. That's what they're going to do. That's how they're going to offset the little check you get this time. That's going to hurt a lot of people, man. It's going to hurt a lot of people. I try to wake people up to it, but they're like, well, I just need more money now. I need more money now, Tim Black. Give me my money. Give me my money, Tim Black. Shut up, Tim Black. I need my money. How could you be against me getting more money? I'm like, I understand. But we live in a society. We're supposed to care about everybody, not just you get more money. What about grandma? Hey, screw grandma. She lived long enough. I need a bigger check now. I'm like, oh, man, we need some humanity, humanity. Ann Coulter sent out a tweet today. I talked about it on the show. Ann Coulter, she's an evil lady. Marco Rubio said he wouldn't sign the GOP tax bill. Wouldn't sign it because he wants poor people to get more money back on their earned income credit for their children. And he said until they did that, he wouldn't sign it. So Ann Coulter, being a fighter for the people, she put out a tweet that said, I'm single and I will die alone, miserable. Why should I have to help people? Something like that. Like, why should I have to help people who have families and children who get all this joy in their lives? Like, Jesus Christ, Ann. You live in a society, Ann, a society where we're supposed to help each other, where children matter, where families matter. Aren't you from the party of family values? Hypocrite. I think Ann Coulter is evil. She's like that. She's like the girl in the Poltergeist if she would have grew up, and if she never would have got rid of the seance didn't work. That's Ann Coulter. She's that girl. She grew up. She got a job. She got a book deal. Y'all. What else? I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else. I can't see your comments, so I can't respond to them. I just want the Democratic Party to know that I'm going to keep on talking shit about you. Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep talking about you because you need to do something for black people. You need to do something for black people and poor people. It's supposed to be the poor people party. Poor people party. I guess I could talk about net neutrality real quick. Can I talk about that? All right. Real quick. This is for the dummies out there who don't understand why net neutrality was important. Comcast owns a lot of shit. That's why. Dummy. Yeah, man, what they don't own, they own a stake in. So if they get to throttle and slow down other people's website access, to slow down access to other websites, they'll do it because it'll make them money. Don't you get it? Get it now. Get it now. They would make more money if their sites are faster than yours or any other sites, any competitors. And they've already been doing it. They've already been turning the screws to us. Why don't you get this? We don't trust them. We'll let the market decide. Let the market decide. Let the market. It's a free market. Let the market. The people that say that are either brain dead, that's one, or Republicans. Or rich people. They're rich people. CEOs say shit like that. Let the market decide because they are the market. That's what that means for real. That's what that really means. That's the real meaning behind that. Your broke ass working a day job, working a night shift at Jiffy Lube, you're not the market. You go to the market, the grocery store, the supermarket. You are not the market, motherfucker. Trying to help you. Trying to consider this your seminar. Learning how this shit works. You are broke, and anybody who don't have $1 million liquid is broke. Anybody. So that's the thing. We should all be on the same side. It should be us against them. That's what we need. We need us against them. All the poor people need to band together. That's all of us. Anybody who's not $1 million liquid. We need to all band together and go against the oligarchs. That's the only way we have a chance at winning, a chance at us actually having a country that works for us. And we get rid of the private prisons. We legalize weed. Give it up for legalizing weed. That's what we need to do. I can't wait till they pass the bill in Maryland. I'm looking for a weed man right now. Can't find one. You got to be real discreet. It's against the law, Maryland. Come on, Maryland. Get up with it, Maryland. Come on, Maryland. That's why I'm supporting Ben Jealous for Maryland governor. Come on, Ben. Come on, man. Make this shit happen, Ben. We need it. DC got it. Why I can't get it? I'm right here, man. I'm right here. I see him smoking right now. Damn. That's sativa? What is that? Right there. Can't get it. Too far away. Don't live close enough. Got to move there. Roy Moore. Roy Moore needs some weed right about now. He needs some weed. Doug Jones looked like he smoked a lot of weed in his day. He's like, I won? Shit. I won? He was surprised. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you very much for tuning into the Tim Black at Night show. And now we go to telephone lines. That's right. You call up. You get 5 minutes to say whatever's on your mind. And I do mean whatever's on your mind. Just no hate speech. No hate speech. Call up. I don't want to hear any comments like, don't call up talking about the problem with all the blacks is this. That's when you get click up. Don't call up talking about, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. Click up, click up, click up. Women suck. Go to hell with the gays. Click, 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 click. Why you want to get my page shut down? Why don't you start your own show, get your shit shut down? Why you got to call up my show trying to get my stuff canceled? Cancel your own stuff. Start your own show and spew hate. Don't call up my show trying to do that, setting a black man up like that. You know how hard I had to work to get this show? But anyway, guys, call up 319-527-6212. I'm Tim Black. Let's start the show. All right. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. All right. Yeah. We're about to do it. Thank you guys for hanging in here with me. Being here tonight. Some of y'all on house arrest, you can't go nowhere anyway. But thank you for being here anyway. Tim, we have more channels we could be watching. Well, it's all good. It's all good. I'm glad you chose this one. You have great taste. Oh, I got to cut my mic up. My bad. I got to cut my mic up. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. We back. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning into the show. Now we're going to go to the telephone lines, get the first caller in the queue. All right, first caller in the queue. My first caller is, make sure everything good. All right, now look, yesterday the phones didn't work. I did nothing. So I tell you it was their system if this works. My first call is a 517 number. 517, you live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Tim Black, this is a friend from Lansing, Michigan, Thomas Elmy.
What's up, Thomas? How you doing, my friend?
I got a poem for you tonight.
Lay it on me, my brother.
I sit and I wait, just more time to contemplate, digest everything on my plate. Acid reflux, not this late. I'm too high to participate. No idea what's at stake. Goodness grateful for Pete's sake. Waiting for people to reciprocate. And I don't talk to a fucking fake. I sit and I wait. Let me reiterate. What I say next, there is no debate. Trust in God. Never lose faith. Search the depths of your soul. Find the place deep inside. Open up its power. That's God that you'll find.
All right, Thomas, man, give it up for Thomas and his poem of his inner thoughts about what is that about, Thomas? What is that directed to any one person or any particular topic?
That's just directed to divine power, my friend.
Divine power, brother.
The creator that made us all.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. Well, look, brother, thank you for the phone call, man. Get up for Thomas one more time. And you want to open it up? Going to the next call in the queue. 408, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim. It's No More Donations. How you doing?
No more donations up in here. How's it going, No More Donations?
Good, good. I'm just being all freezing over here in rural Oregon now. It's where I moved to. But, yeah, I just want to kind of, thank you for all the love last night. So right back at you, I wouldn't support somebody that I didn't believe in. So, you deserve it. You're one of the few, like the independent voices, I think, that are going in the right direction, despite all the negative, trolling or whatever. But just keep doing what you're doing. So I kind of want to talk about, I also wanted to weigh in on the Democrats. They are freaking pathetic. Look, they need to move beyond that, I'm not, insert the name of any Republican politician. That didn't work in 2016 with Hillary. It didn't work in the Georgia election with Ossoff, the guy that looks like Sheldon on the TV show The Big Bang Theory, if he was wearing a suit. And it almost didn't work with Roy Moore, a freaking pedophile. I mean, come on, get real, folks. I think, they need to come up with some winning strategy. It's not, I'm not this, I'm not that. They need to just say what their policies. What are you for? What the hell are you for? There's so many things to be for. You could be for Medicare for all. Just to take one thing, and that's a winning strategy. And it's not just people who lean to the left. It's people who lean to the right. Even centrists, I think, would support that. So, not that I give a damn about centrists. I think many people will realize where I stand on that. But, that's all I really wanted to say. Yeah. But damn, it took a damn pedophile to eke out a win. That is freaking pathetic. All right. So I'll just end it with this. What do Doug Jones, Tim Kaine, and Sam Cedar have in common?
Everything.
Okay. All right, here's the answer. Listening to any one of them for 20 seconds or less will get rid of a Viagra 4-hour erection in 20 seconds or less. Okay, boom. I'm gone.
My brother. You know what? You might be right. You don't have to go to the hospital. Just go watch a Sam Cedar video, listen to Doug Jones or Tim Kaine, the most uninteresting man in the world. Tim Kaine. What's wrong? I'm good. Reminds me of Frito and Al Pacino. What? I'm smart. No, you're not. No. I'm smart. All right. Oh, man. All right, 412. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim, it's Uli. How are you?
Uli, my friend Uli. Good to have you. I'm good. How are you?
I want to first agree with no more donations. I want to thank you for the warm shout-out last night. I was sitting here all blushing. And he's right. The people that deserve our ears and our attention and our donations are few and far between, but you're definitely one of them. Oh. So let me cut through the chase because I've got a mouthful here. What I'm observing, what concerns me is that there seems to be a purging of voices, and particularly black voices going on, and it bothers me. I mean, you can think of Omarosa all you want. Not a fan of her, but, she was a presence in the White House, a black woman close to the president, and, she might have, for all we know, had some influence on Trump. We don't know that. Be it as it may, she's gone now, and then at first it seems like, they came after Cosby. They seem to go after all, icons, people that really have the attention of the black community. And I'm probably missing people too, but Oprah Winfrey, she signed away her main shareholdings of her own network. And the latest, they slander Tavis Smiley. And, I don't follow celebrities or whatnot, but I know these people, they are icons, they are faces, they are voices, and they are voices for the black community. And then, of course, Roland Martin. Roland Martin reached millions of people. We tend to forget, because we're here on the internet, we forget that the majority of people, they're not here. They're, if they're on social media, but they're certainly not on the net, researching like most of us here probably do, and where we get our news, They turn on the television in the morning, and they listen to Roland. And Roland gave a platform to people and issues that concern the black community. He had Umar on his show, and, I don't think the Morning Joe, whatever people, the Good Morning people, I really don't know them. I don't watch television. But I don't think they'll have Umar Johnson on their program. I don't think they'll talk about hookworms in Alabama, right?
Right.
So, they canceled Roland, and so now he's gone. I don't know what, but something's up. As far as Roland's concerned, though, I think I lost all my respect for him during the primaries. I guess that was still, or maybe definitely before the elections, when he was like, he and this woman, they were buck dancing for the pantsuit killer, and I just couldn't afterwards anymore, But again, he was a voice, he was a platform, and he addressed issues that aren't addressed anywhere else. And if I was Roland, he's got a shot at independence now. He could make up for the buck dancing, and he could tell them at, TV One, he could tell them to go fuck themselves, go independent, and bring his following to the other side, our side, the right side. So, I mean, that's what I would do if I was Roland, but I'm not. So there's that. And it's not a happy event. It's no reason for people to cheer and be gleeful, like I said, about any of these people being gone. And as far as the whole sexual assault and bullying problematic, I guess that gets a lot of attention right now in the mainstream media and all over the net, and people are talking, and sexual assault here and predators there and bullies and what have you. I don't know what happened to people. What happened to people? When did people stop taking control of their own situations? I'm sitting here in Pennsylvania. What am I going to do about your little boy down in, I don't know, East Labette, somewhere in the South, getting bullied? Nothing. You're a mother, you're a parent, you need to deal with that situation. What are people trying to achieve with all this hype? When has anything sensationalized by the mainstream media ever led to any type of positive change? I'm asking, because, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. The people that are involved in those scandals are just like any of us. They're human beings in certain situations, and they'll just have to deal with them, just like any of us deal with our shit. Who wants to know if somebody wants to grab my butt? Yeah, who cares? I deal with it. And I'm not talking about, violence here, and, but aggressors, criminals, they need to be dealt with, just like you or I would be dealt with. If I assaulted someone, I would have to defend myself in a court of law. And so if you're some Weinstein or whatever, Spacek or whatever the dude's name is, you should be held accountable just like anybody else. Shouldn't matter. You commit a crime, you rape someone or you assault someone, you will have to answer to that, just like anybody else, And the victims, seek counseling, talk to a priest, your mother, I don't know, do whatever you have to do to get out of victim mode, because only you can empower yourself, no legislation, no Facebook, no social media. Nobody can do that for you, So this whole hysteria is kind of counterproductive because it only serves two purposes at once, like for the plutocrats, really. So, for one thing, we're being distracted from the big picture. I'm not saying, like, for the individual, when something happens, this is important. I'm not trying to, take away from any of that. But there are issues right now that should be all over the internet and all over the mainstream media, like the military-industrial complex, our economy, the prison pipeline, net neutrality, the environment. Jesus, do we need to talk about a little boy who may or may not have misbehaved or who may or may not be bullied somewhere in the South? That's a private problem. That's not politics. That's their thing. They got to deal with it. If nothing else, all of this is just so highly divisive. Here we are now arguing. Is this woman, is she racist? Should we help her? Why? Why don't you just help herself? We need to find a way back to some common sense here,
I got to leave it there, Uli, but I want to thank you. I got to leave it there, but I want to thank you, Uli, for the call. I really do. I appreciate you, sister.
All right.
Uli.
Sure thing. Have a good weekend, you all.
You too, sister. She went to town. Uli went to town, didn't she? I tell you, man, Uli leave no stone unturned. I was trying to figure out what was the whole thing. Like, what was the get for the media to cover the Me Too thing so closely and so consistently now? And I think all of it boils down to one simple thing. Money. I wonder if someone could count how much clicks, how many views, how much has the Me Too, the publications, how much advertising, how much money has been made off of viewership while they talk about Harvey Weinstein, or when they talk about Russell Simmons, or when they talk about Kevin Spacey, or Charlie Rose, or Matt Lauer. Like, this is a money maker. It's a money maker, man. That's what I'm getting at. Because we're thinking, people, we sit back, we wonder, like for the last couple of weeks, I brought it up on the show, like, why are they finally letting this come out? And I'm telling you, that's what I think it is. It's just that simple. Money. Now, I want to respond to Uli regarding Omarosa. I'm not, first of all, I don't know if she quit or if she was fired. I get different stories. The White House says she was fired. She says she quit. I don't know. Omarosa is not. She never put herself out there to be a speaker for the black community or for our issues. It was more. She's been very distant, I think, and I think part of that's because of the stigma of being with Donald Trump. So it's a double-edged sword. You're with Trump, and black folks are looking at the policies that are coming out of the Trump administration are not, by and large, good for poor people. And that's like basically a Republican thing. I think part of the misconception that some people have had, and I was telling a friend this the other day, is that a lot of the policies that Trump is implementing are just Republican policies that any other Republican would implement. It's just that Trump's doing it. And yeah, I don't like him, but Bush did the same thing. And then Obama made them permanent, the tax cuts for the rich. So, but Roland Martin, yeah, the thing he did with Dr. Umar, the thing he did, like he torpedoed Dr. Umar on his show. And Dr. Umar was successful, so a lot of people are upset about that. but rolling in with the thing with Hillary and then the whole, it's a lot of stuff, man. But I know Roland's going to be fine. In fact, I just saw him on the Rock Newman show, and he still has a contract with TV One. He's still under contract, so he may come back in another iteration. And you're right, we do have to think about the people that do not have internet access who watch TV, and they watch that show. So yeah, I like so many things were said. Thank you, Uli, for your phone call. Yeah, the bullying. What can people possibly do to help a child who's getting bullied in states far, far away from you? I don't know. You know what I mean? But you're right. It is a distraction, and a lot of viewership were made off that video. And it's good for Facebook because a lot of views kept people on the Facebook site longer. Then if you put it on YouTube, you can run ads against it. You can run ads against it on Facebook. Some people get to run ads on Facebook. There's a lot like this. I look at media now as like money maker. This is what they use it for. People like myself who try to give out messages that I think are important. They do their best to censor us, and we really, like this show, YouTube won't even let me monetize it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's go to the next call. I appreciate y'all. 562. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
562. This is Marvin from California. What's going on, Tim?
Marvin in the house. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. My call's gonna be short and sweet. First of all, to the brother before me that had the poem, that was off the hook. No more donations. Peace. Uli always is on point. I saw in the comment section that I haven't seen any more comments lately, but early on it was saying that the call volume was low. So I said that if nobody before me brought it up, I would say it. So only thing I want to say, I've said this before. Tim, I love your platform and your program. To everybody listening, if you can, please support your indie media. It don't have to be, $100 a month. You can do it as less for $1 a month. Tim don't pay me. I'm not a paid spokesman for the Tim Black Show. I'm just a listener, and I enjoy what Tim puts out. It's just like, over-the-air TV. Here in the L.A. area, we got Channel 2, Channel 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. You know what I'm saying? Each channel has something different. You can have many different people you support as indie media, but make sure you support them. That's the thing. These people spend their time, their energy, their effort putting out news that a lot of people don't get timely. They have to, you're on that grind. You know what I'm saying? If you have two jobs, you might not even be getting no news until probably the weekend when you got a time, to relax and rest. That's all I got to say. Support your indie media. Peace, Tim Black. Love you.
Love you back, Marvin. Thanks for the phone call, man. That's right, man. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. There's people that inspire me that are in indie media. So, yeah, it's not just about Tim Black. It's about other indie media, man. They keep me going. There's several creators that I text that text me. We share conversations. We keep each other's spirits up, especially during the apocalypse and all the other things that go on, man. So when Donna Brazil's on the show on Monday, there are going to be some people that are going to chime in with questions as well. Some other independent media folks I've reached out to and asked them to submit questions to me because I want us to be more of a community, and I want this to be a win for independent media to have a conversation with somebody on, someone who's been on the national stage, such as Donna Brazil. So anyway, yeah, thank you, Marvin. I appreciate you, man. No doubt, no doubt. 310. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim Black.
Yes, sir.
Tim Black, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? This is Jimmy in Thailand.
Jimmy in Thailand. What's up, my brother?
Yeah, I live in L.A. And I'm here in Thailand because It's a little too cold for me, even in L.A. Let me just say something when it comes to Omarosa. Omarosa, you don't know what's going on in that White House, in the Oval Office. She may have a function in the Oval Office. She ain't fulfilling her duties, and that's what I'm concerned about with Omarosa. Then when it comes to Danny Williams, you know, he comes and goes out of the news, but this is another case of a parent not supporting their child, and he did support President Clinton did support Danny Williams when he was a young baby. Then he stopped supporting him because Mrs. Slick Willie said don't pay anymore. And he's not getting any of that Haitian donation money, which is being used to bribe everyone in the country, especially the FBI and the State Department. I don't appreciate that. Let me also say something about, our Democratic Party. My Democratic Party, it does not belong to me. I don't know what's going on. The Republicans, we can be sure it's one step backwards at every interval, one step backwards. With the Democratic Party, it's always one step forward and two steps back. And I'll give you three instances. Let's talk about Vice President Joe Biden. He insisted that Clarence Thomas had the right to be on the Supreme Court, and he ignored all the true testimony from Anita Hill and forced this character on the United States. And we have been, Judge Thomas has been a curse upon our country and our people. It's a disaster. That was something done by our vice president who can't keep his hands off of little children. Now let's go to the next one. Talking about Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, we don't have one liberal radio talk station. We used to have many different radio talk stations with different varieties of talk. Now all we have is conservative talk radio. And this is because of Bill Clinton. As he was leaving the White House, he sold the rights of radio stations to a few monopolies. And now we in California, we have no liberal radio stations, period. All we listen to is these right-wing talk radio stations. They're on the air. They have the lowest ratings in the whole state of California. Even when it comes to Rush Limbaugh, his ratings, he's on two stations in LA. His ratings are lower than Cambodian radio. Okay, so these stations are on the air only to pass the Republican propaganda points on and on and on in LA. And we voted for Miss Slick Willie anyway by 3 million votes. We're the ones that gave her the extra 3 million votes. I did not. I voted for Jill Stein like you. I could not stomach that woman, and I did not vote for her, although she got 3 million extra votes in California. Despite our radio, we have, as I said before, in California, pure Republican propaganda on our AM radio, nothing else is allowed. Thanks to Bill Clinton, who signed that Radio Deregulation Act. Now we're suffering here in California. That's why I'm here in Thailand. One of the reasons I can't tolerate our local radio stations. And the last thing, let me just say something. Obama and net neutrality. Obama is the person who appointed Ajit Pai. I cannot forgive him. He deliberately appointed Ajit Pai to the FCC. And guess what? I believe these people are taking bribes. They'll be getting their entitlement checks, their multi-million-dollar corporate entitlement checks for bribery, for accepting the bribery and carrying out the bribe, forcing us to have taken away our right for net neutrality. I think both of them have been bribed. Obama, I do not trust him anymore. He did that on purpose. He knew he was going to get a big kickback for putting Ajit Pai on the FCC, and guess what? They're getting their big checks right now, and they're happy as ever. It's a Merry Christmas for them, and it's not a Merry Christmas for the rest of us. And that's all I have to say from Thailand. I'm very upset. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate it, man. Good point about Ajit Pai, too, man. There you go. You're like, well, where'd this guy come from? Well, had to put him in there. Had to get him on in there. Obama did that. Oh, Tim, why are you always talking about Obama? Because he did a lot of stuff he shouldn't have done. I didn't make him do it. He could have been the guy he said he was. But he wasn't the guy he said he was. He was himself. There you go. 410. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim, it's Roro.
Roro in the house. How you been, Roro? It's been a minute. How you feeling?
I'm doing okay. I had surgery last week.
Well, I'm glad to hear you back. You sound good.
Last Tuesday, the 5th, I have a 15-inch incision of staples going down my back from my upper waist all the way to my tailbone. I want to put one of those zipper pulls on top of it, make it look like a zipper down my back.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm going to talk about something that's a little bit off topic here, but I don't know if you know about a lot about the crackdown on the opioid crisis, but I really haven't felt too much of that because I have a really good pain doctor, and you know she's been keeping me stocked. You know, I got chronic pain, and you know I'm in pain every day of my life, and I have nerve pain. My spinal cord column was crushed, so I'm in nerve pain. It's intractable nerve pain. There ain't nothing they can do about it. But anyway, so I've been on the same dose of medicine since they put me on the medicine in 2005. I have not gone up on my dose since 2005. So I'm not a druggie or drug seeking or any of that. I had surgery back in 2008. You know, it went pretty good. Anyway, this time I was in horrific pain in the hospital, and they wouldn't give me the pain medicines that I was on even before I went in the hospital. They wouldn't even give me the dosages, the levels of the dose that I was on before the hospital, and they blamed it on this crackdown on the opioids. And I'm like, wait a minute. Those are the medicines that I was on pre-op. I'm recovering from surgery here. You know, all the studies show that you have to be treated with pain medicine when you're recovering from surgery. It's really bad to have your pain not treated. You don't recover if your pain isn't under control. And then also, you know, if I don't get my meds, I'll go into withdrawals because, you know, I'm used to them. I've been on them for years, 13 years. So I can't go through withdrawals while I'm trying to recover from surgery. What are you trying to do? Give me a heart attack? You trying to kill me over here? So anyway, I checked myself out of the hospital. I left AOA. I don't know what that stands for, but I left against physicians' recommendations. And my pain doctor knew I was leaving, and she's like, yeah, go ahead, go home. She knew I had my pain medicines at home. And my neurologist, a surgeon, also said I was okay to go. But the hospital physician was the one that didn't want me to go because he wanted to keep me there and torture me a little more with horrible pain and all that. So anyway, I just wanted to say, you know, be careful when they talk about this crackdown on the opioid crisis. You know, don't forget us chronic pain patients are sitting here suffering because this ain't right. You know, we shouldn't have to suffer. It's not our fault. We're using our medicines the way they're supposed to be used, and you know, we don't want to be in pain. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
Wow. Well, hey,
thanks, Tim. Thanks for putting on a good show.
You got it, sister. Thank you. That's a good point of view. Look, I've never heard anyone articulate that side of the equation. right? So it's always another side to something. You know what I mean? That you haven't considered. That's one of the great things about this show is people call up and you'll get a perspective that you might not ever be exposed to otherwise. So thank you, Roro, for that. I appreciate it. 518. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, my name's Dylan. I'm coming from upstate New York, Tim. Nice to be on the show.
Man, nice having you, Dylan. How you feeling, brother? What's on your mind?
Man, I'm doing good. I was just listening. I was gonna pick up on whatever topic, and the topic that she talked about actually does strike home. So I would like to talk about the opioid epidemic that's going on in the world right now, man.
Sure. Go right ahead, brother.
All right. Man, I did have an uncle that I lived with pass away from heroin overdose, and just seeing him be addicted to pills and then eventually go into harder drugs and then ODing, definitely struck me in my life because I don't live in the best of neighborhoods. I live in the ghetto, but we love it down here. But there is a real problem going on in the world. Yeah, there is the other side. There is people that are in pain, and that's true. And there's also people that are in pain who want those drugs to fight not a physical pain, but a mental pain. And I think when we have these conversations, it really does help to see that there is both sides, because I feel like in a world where we just say drugs are illegal, drugs are bad, then we don't know what we're talking about, and we can't discuss these things. I'm only 20 years old, but it doesn't take much time to realize that, man, we sort of need them. We obviously need them. They're around us on a daily basis. If you get sick, you're going to need them. To act like that they're all devilish and there's no upside to some of these, it's absolutely terrible. And we waste our time when we talk about weed. Weed is a drug because a million things are drugs, but that's not harmful and it wastes time. And when we have people on the right that, mock weed being legal and stuff, I have family that will shun me and stuff because, weed, nah, you're a pothead, but okay, I can get high sometimes. But I also make the argument to the drug war isn't helping anything right now, especially, in the city where I'm from, in upstate New York, in the capital region. It only causes a further divide between us and the police force, because every time I go to the corner store to buy something and, I might have something on me, I got to watch my back, because if I get arrested, I can't afford to pay that ticket, because then I can't live. And, we're put in a situation where, I sort of understand, because I do have cops, families that are cops. They're not too close to me, and they have to pay their bills too. And, we can't fully put it on the cops for the drug war, and it obviously is, going on in the state and going on in the whole country. But it just causes a huge divide, and people actually, they don't know what they're talking about, and it leads to horrific things, and people go into the world not knowing what's going to hit them, and things can go bad. You can lose your loved ones, but you can also get saved. So I think just we got to do our research and, stay strong, stay willed, and just try to help people that are going through a hard time with the opioid
I hear you,
crisis.
Dylan.
That's all I got to
brother.
say, Tim.
Hey, thank you, Dylan, for the phone call, man. You stay strong, brother. Young man, you sound like you got your head on straight, brother. You got your head on straight. And I really like the way you started off the call when you were talking about the mental side of this, that there are people who are going through pain, man. These people are self-medicating, typically from life's stress, and we're on the like the treadmill, like the hamster wheel, we're on this hamster wheel, and some people just trying to grab a little bit of happiness or a little bit of peace of mind. this society, we show people pictures of how great they're living, of these make-believe people in these movies, in these sitcoms, and in real life, you want to make your life look like that, and you think, this is the American dream. And so many Americans are not living anywhere near these fake realities. You know what I'm saying? So I think that adds to the mental health issue in this country. It's not, everything is not somebody on the corner yelling at the sky. Some mental health issues are people who want, like for instance, what I'm doing now, if I was locked into this thing, I have to become Don Lemon, that'd be bad for my mental health. You know what I'm saying? It's an unattainable position. Fortunately, I'm grounded and rooted in the fact that I've been around for a while, and I've been through certain industries and work so that I know that it's not about that. Like, it's about the satisfaction of having a great show like tonight, having a great caller like you, Dylan, calling up the show, and getting satisfaction other ways, not externally from material, like I got to get this big house and I got to get this big car and I got to be able to, and pop the bottles and all this stuff, like all this stuff that our society is told is what makes you successful. And that's part of, getting back to the mental health. So, man, Dylan, thank you for the phone call, man. Thank you for sharing your thoughts there. And keep your head up there in upstate New York, man. Yep. That was 518 425. All right. Okay, 314. 314, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Tim, what's going on, man? It's
Don
Big
Bag.
Don Bag. What's going on?
What's up, Don Bag? How you doing,
How
brother?
you been?
My man.
How you been, man?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. How you been?
Oh, just hanging in there, watching the chaos, enjoying it, watching Democrats in Alabama, celebrate another Republican winning. But I just wanted to reach out. I just wanted to talk about Roland Martin real quick. Roland Martin got exactly what he deserves. This guy has been selling out black people since the end of time. He got video. It's a video of him up there dancing like a clown for Hillary Clinton. So I don't even feel sorry for Roland Martin. He got exactly what he deserved. And there's a few more people like him that need to get the axe, too, because they detrimental to society and as a whole. Omarosa, I really don't know too much about her except she was on The Apprentice. So, I mean, if she got access to Trump, I guess that's good for her. Most people can't just call up the president. So I guess that's a good thing and a bad thing. She probably was touched by Trump, but, and the net neutrality, the one caller was right. This Obama fault for that. He put that dude. He knew exactly what was going to happen. Just wait until he was out of office, and then they can go in there and take the axe to the internet. So, I ain't going to hold up the lines because it's Friday. I know there's a lot of people trying to get in. But if anybody ready for open rebellion, I got 2 extra pitchforks. Keep doing what you're doing, Tim. Appreciate you, brother. Peace.
Thank you, Don Bag. I appreciate you, man. Yeah. Don, yeah, man. And look, a lot of people don't realize that Obama was see, when people complain about Obama, they got good reasons to sometimes. Sometimes they do. Now, when people just throw his race out there, yeah, those are bigots. But there are some people who, when they criticize Obama, other people just put it in the racist category or the sellout category. No, man, he did some stuff that's detrimental. Like, he set Ajit Pai up. He gave him that position. The vote for the ended net neutrality went directly on party lines. Ajit Pai is a Republican. Why did Obama appoint that guy? There it is. Because Obama was a Republican. That's why. They the same. You gonna believe somebody by what they do or by what they say they are, or by what they show you they are. All right, I'm gonna go to the next call. 425. 425. You live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim, it's Bree calling from Oregon.
Bree in the house. How you doing, Bree? Good to have you.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, sister.
Very cool. So I was actually inspired to call in by the first caller who did a poem. So I wrote a poem in 2014, basically to kind of help me deal with and process police brutality and the reality of it, and me not fully understanding how bad it was based on my privileged growing up environment. I just didn't get it. And so I wanted to share that. But before I do, I wanted to also kind of respond to Dimebag and say that I'm ready, and that I suggest that we kind of make a pact as Americans that if they screw up or change our internet, our internet access in any way, that we get together with all of our community members and our neighbors and say, let's go down and let's occupy our city or state government houses until they restore Title II. And that the internet thing, even though it's scary and I'm a little freaked out about it, it might be that thing that we can rally around as American people. And so I just want to throw that out there. And then if I could, I'd like to read a poem.
Sure, Bree. No problem.
All right. So it's called Crossing the Thin Blue Line. And I kind of got a little bit of sniffles, so I hope I read this right. But I am not a rebel. I am an activist. I am an American. And I am a human being. All of these things have brought me to this street on this day with this sign full of defiant words. But what motivation lies behind the dead and lifeless eyes of the officers in blue that are stalking my every move? As they confront me in a line, demanding that I leave, I advise them the law allows me to be on this public street. My words evoke their urge to fight, but I'm not surrendering my First Amendment right, no matter how bad this is about to get. As they advance on me with violence in their movements, I wonder why men with power so often choose to abuse it. Protect and serve meant to be a promise, yet they have all chosen to compromise on it. Where have all our freedoms gone? And when did I cross your thin blue line into the realm of guilty until proven innocent, stop and frisk and home invasion at owner risk? Though they are meant to be for my protection, they use their badges and their guns like shields of impunity when they come to take my voice away. As they commit assault against me in the first degree with electric bolts of their superiority, they penetrate my skin with barbs, which will send violent currents of dominance throughout my body until I shudder and twitch in a pile at their feet. The involuntary movement of my muscles will be in the category of resisting arrest, or so they'll tell the judge when they're called to attest. But no beating on earth will make me confess to something I didn't do, something I didn't say, or to breaking some law they say I should obey. But the beating has started now. As the tingling in my muscles begins to subside from the electricity they use to subdue me with, I can feel every fist of fury, every judo chop of glee, and every steel-toed karate kick that they rain down on me. I curl into a tight little ball, but not to dodge a blow, to deafen the sound of their laughter. I don't want to hear them one-up each other, blow for blow. I don't want to know that I'm number 33 on Officer Jones' takedown list. Since when did the breaking of a spirit become just another notch in the bedpost that sits in the center of every cop shop and courthouse in this country? But I'm bleeding and broken now. They think my cries of pain, now turned to whispers of resignation, are a sign that I'm compliant. They appear to not understand that a spirit's freedom isn't reliant on the body. My hands cuffed and bound, blood spilling on the ground. This is the death of our individual rights. This is freedom left to rot in a burial mound. I am your brother. I am your sister. I am your father, and I am your mother. I am your coworker. I am your family member. I am your friend, and I am you. It's time to end the tyranny of those in blue.
Wow.
And that's it, Tim. Thank you for letting me
sister.
share that.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Brie. Very powerful stuff. Very powerful. Extremely poignant. Yeah, I did a segment today. I talked about a young girl in Michigan who the cops were looking for a 40-year-old white woman who attempted murder. And they saw this 11-year-old black girl, and they pulled a gun on her and they handcuffed her and put her in the back of the squad car. And it's horrific. It's a very short video. It's only like 40 seconds, but you hear the young girl. She's crying, and she's crying for her mom. And there were people like, she should just be quiet. I'm like, man, we can't. Why is she crying? Why is she yelling? Because she's 11 and she's being arrested and she's scared out of her fucking mind. That's why she's crying. And she should be crying. And she should not be in handcuffs. And the police chief said his officers had a right to do it. So it is what it is, guys. This is just, this is our system. Thank you, Bree, for those kind words, those powerful words, those important words. Very relevant and timely words, unfortunately. Even though you say you wrote that in 2014, it's still very much pertinent today. Next call, 410. You're live, 410. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim Black, this is Uncle Ron.
Uncle Ron! What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's just so amazing how quickly this year has gone by. And right now, I'm up here in Pennsylvania, Western PA, painting my wife's house and to get ready to rent it. And it's apropos some of the things that you've been discussing lately. Particularly, yesterday when you were talking about CNN and the fake news. And I was commenting yesterday with, I guess it was Jilly Love during the show, and I said, it occurs to me, just through personal observation, that this fake news, this MSNBC, this CNN, this Fox, they all exist primarily for the people that are older than us who vote. And these people run these channels 24/7. And I'm absolutely amazed. Being up here where, I stopped by my mother-in-law's, and she's an MSNBC person. And yet she's saying, Ron, do you think this is true? I don't either. Yada, 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 yada. My dad, unfortunately, is a Fox person, and I will never understand that, how somebody who marched with Martin Luther King in '63 in Washington could be a Fox person, other than, his military background. And unfortunately, on a real personal note, I need everyone who's listening to just have some prayers for my sister-in-law. She is currently suffering from depression, and she is hooked on MSNBC. And she is just taken aback by the fact that Trump is president. And she literally is hooked on this stuff to the point where she's not functioning. and she needs a lot of help now. And it's just amazing that the media, the propaganda, can have this much hold over the population. But there again, we have known this. We who are supporting you and listening to you and other independent media on the internet, we have known this for quite some time. And I have also seen, while I've been up here, some positives. I know that people are talking about net neutrality and this and that, which, of course, again, we were talking about before the election.
Yep.
And so while people are becoming more awake, I tell you what, on a daily basis, I am taking the adage, sprinkle some facts on them, and to the nth degree. And it's amazing how many people are, oh, wow, you know what, that's right, this and that. I forgot about that. I forgot about this. So people are slowly, younger people, and I mean younger than 70, you know, people in their 50s and their 40s who were
90 seconds.
Tuned in to anything that wasn't mainstream are at least starting to understand the Republicans and Democrats are the same. And that's all I have to say at this point, that there is some hope. But truly, I need some prayers for my sister-in-law, and that's about all I have to say today.
60 seconds.
Wow, brother. Thank you, Uncle Ron, for the phone call, man. Of course our thoughts and prayers and wishes are with your sister-in-law, man. Yes, we want to definitely send our support her way. There are people who are very much affected by what they hear about Donald Trump and what they hear about the state of our nation, actually. And when you listen to MSNBC or CNN and you think, just put yourselves in their position. They trust these sources. She's probably been watching those networks for so long. She knows these people. She's brought them into her home, maybe not literally, but figuratively and virtually. And that has an effect on you. She
10
has,
seconds.
obviously, like I said, she has trust in them. These are like friends to her. These shows that she watches, these anchors, and yeah, like the things that they're saying that Trump's doing, the way they're framing this all. There are people who think we're at the end. We're in the last days. There are people who think that we're in the last days now because of what Trump's doing. There are people who are truly depressed. They're thinking about North Korea, and they're thinking any day. When they hear a loud noise, they're thinking maybe North Korea sent a missile over here. Just because you and I don't believe it doesn't mean others do or don't or do. Yeah. Just because we don't believe it doesn't mean others are following suit. So it's serious stuff, man. It really is. It is how it impacts them. They use that fear. They play on people's emotions, and people are. Well, brother. Anyway, Uncle Ron, thank you for the phone call, man. And to your sister-in-law, I just hope she gets better. And, yeah, sprinkle some facts on them. Sprinkle some facts on them.
Let's sprinkle some crack on them and get out of here.
Sprinkle some facts on them as much as you can, brother. I appreciate you. I just want to tell everybody that this is independent media doing its job, opening up phone lines, letting people across the country, across the world have their voices heard, and let them reach as many people as possible. And if you value that, please consider becoming a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Go to TimBlackTV.com. You'll find a link that'll take you to my Patreon page. And, yeah, I think that we just need to get louder. We need to be as loud as corporate media. Reach as many people as possible with our message. All right. 252. 252, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Big Dummy from North Carolina.
You saw the shirt? Did you see the shirt?
No. I just listened on the phone.
Oh, okay. Okay, how you doing, my brother?
Not too bad. It's getting kind of cold out, but I'm surviving.
All right, man. What's on your mind tonight, my friend?
Tell you the truth, I didn't have anything to say, but I wanted you actually answered the question on Tuesday, and I wanted to say you gave a great answer. It was about why don't you do like fluff pieces or happy stories, and your comment to that was very impressive.
Wow.
How you had to stick to the issues, and because if you don't do it, who will?
Yeah, brother. Yeah, man. I appreciate you on that, man. I like to have a good time. I open up my show with a monologue. I'm a funny guy. I like laughing, but when we gotta talk about the serious stuff, man, we gotta talk about it, right? You agree?
You got to, man.
You got to, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't have a choice, man. Well, look, brother.
I hear you.
Stay warm, my man, and thank you for the phone call.
Thank you. You have a great night, man.
You too, brother. And thank you for the compliment too, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. When something goes on, man, when there's an issue, we can't hide from it. Like I gotta address this stuff. I remember, at least now, I feel a little bit better. Like now I have more of an understanding of why these things happen. It was a point, man, when I was talking about, back Ferguson and, gosh, man, like so many deaths. Now I get it, Like now I know why it's happening. Now I understand the motives of the media companies and what they focus on and why they do it. So now I can kind of understand the games that they play with our emotions. So I feel a little bit better about how I handle it. But thank you, my brother, for the phone call. Because it used to take a toll on me too, man. It did. 814. You're live, 814. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, my brother. This is Rob Sandera. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, man, I'm doing well. How you doing, brother?
No, not bad. Boy, you got a lot of topics going on tonight I'd like to talk about, but I don't have time to talk about all those. IG Pie, though, was actually pushed by McConnell to Obama, and I think that was more of Obama didn't have any experience at the time. So I wouldn't really blame Obama for Pie. But anyways, there's a lot of talk about the Democrats and the Republicans being the same in media, and I'd like to clarify some things. For those that don't know, I'm out there running for president, and I'm trying to raise money to actually travel around in a motorhome to meet people personally, and I'm starting now because I'm not one of these multi-billionaire guys that's going to throw all my money away on television. Our media is controlled by J.P. Morgan. Every company that owns those radio stations, TVs, newspapers, you name it, traces back to J.P. Morgan. I investigated this stuff for 30 years, and I can prove exactly what I'm saying. J.P. Morgan owns General Electric. That's our biggest defense contractor. Anytime we hear all this stuff and these wars, we're being slowly, psychologically brainwashed. The difference between the Democrats and the Republicans, yeah, there's corruption in the top of the Democrats. That's money corruption. You can't say there isn't corruption down there everywhere in Washington, though. The thing is, I've worked in politics since Ross Perot. I was in actually all three parties, working with everybody until I started to see what was going on. I've never seen the Democrats deliberately knife average people in the back. I have seen the Republicans do that all the time. They are doing it to people with the opioid crisis right now, because they're writing laws to reclassify drugs. They just tore down a whole pile of legal marijuana facilities out there in Colorado. This is the kind of stuff that's going to go on now, people. What people don't understand is our Constitution is written for the two-party system. You could vote for Jill Stein, but the problem was the Green Party couldn't even seem to get on every state's ballot, because some of these red states are so terrible, they got laws against it. So we basically have to fix the Democratic Party, or we have to overtake it. I just wanted people to know those kind of things because I truly believe they're getting the wrong impression of what's going on. Somehow, for one, we got to support people like Kim Black in independent TV, radio, because that's our only source of truth. And they're going to make that hard on us now. This new internet stuff, it'll probably take about a year before we really see any change. And what gets me is Roy Moore lost because of the black women in Alabama went out there and fought. And we have black women in this country right now fighting harder than any one of us. And now we actually got one down there at the FCC fighting to reverse the net neutrality thing before it takes over. That should be a lesson to white people. They need to get active in politics. This is their life that's being destroyed. What they don't understand is their government is systematically being dismantled for corruption, that we're not going to be able to hold any of these people accountable. And if we allow that, what's the alternative? Civil war, we have no, there won't be any form of regress to fix anything. They'll have us totally enslaved. So I just wanted to clarify that with some people. Maybe one of these days we'll have an interview and talk about some things a little better. I do have plans to how to fix America. They're not perfect. I'm trying to get input for them. I called in Tom Hartman's radio today about I want to sell 350 million American cars to everybody in the country, and then we'll have a new engine that cleans up the atmosphere and gets huge gas mileage and puts money in your pocket. And if you don't think I can do that, go look up a car called the Moody Mobile. I built the engine in that car in 1978, and Jimmy Carter knows all about it. They went and suppressed it and sued the guy that owned the car his life into the ground. This is how the establishment works. But as president, I know they're not going to be able to do that so easy. And I'm willing to risk my life for the people of this country because this, to me, this is like my last big hurrah, on the final countdown to getting old. So I guess I'd just like to see us all unite and get together and get on the same page. And I think we can make a difference.
All right, Rob.
What do you think about that, Jim?
Well, thank you, Rob, for the phone call, my brother. I'm so glad that you called in and added your voice to the conversation and brought up some points. You know, a friend of mine contacted me, and he asked me to. He sent me this, and I want to share it with you. He says, "Most of us know that we have a U.S. constitutional right to protest and to petition our elected officials. However, they have a U.S. constitutional right to ignore our protests and our petitions. Thus, our U.S. Constitution preserves the power of political decision to be in the hands of politicians. This 18th century document provides a political system allowing for democratic elections, but giving autocratic authority to those elected. It essentially segregates voters as second-class citizens to be subservient political slaves for its elected officials after elections. The saddest part of being submissive slaves in our own political system is that we have no collars around our necks, no chains on our ankles, and no one's beating us with whips to obey the orders of our political slave masters. Instead, we volunteer to be slaves, to be their slaves. We choose our slave masters at elections based on their promises to be good to us. Unfortunately, few of them keep their promises. They often cause harm to our health and our financial welfare, and even try to take our voting rights away, so we can't easily replace them with another master." So this is why I created the website truedemocracynow.org. It shows what our citizens can do to liberate themselves from this voluntary bondage of political slavery. So look, guys, go to truedemocracynow.org. Check out the website. This man is seriously committed to providing solutions to what's going on with our political system. And he's a supporter of the show. And I think you should give it a try. That's truedemocracy.org, guys. So give it up for that. 312. You're live, 312. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Tim.
Hey, how you doing?
This is True Democracy Now. .org, a.k.a. Dominic Parola from Chicago.
Hey, man, look, could that have been
I caught you right on time.
Right, that's perfect, brother. How you doing, brother?
Okay. You forgot the last part of my letter to you. Let me read it. Okay?
Go right ahead.
My website has a very simple plan to do what I'm talking about. It promotes people to run for office as true representatives of their communities, even if they have no political experience. Having no political experience will actually help them to easily win debates against established politicians. In fact, multi-term career politicians will be wishing they could run out of the debate room after someone running as a true representative makes his or her opening remarks in a debate. In addition, I show how any voter can easily find out if a candidate running for office intends to represent them or ignores them after an election. Most importantly, my plan will automatically get money out of politics without repealing or passing a constitutional amendment or any other law involving financial influence in politics. I explain why corporations offer money to politicians is not the problem. What the real problem is and what we can do about it before the next election. Finally, those visiting my website will learn how to stop arguing with people over divisive ideological labels and have them each reach agreement with them, even if they are Trump supporters. Now, the last sentence here, Tim, you forgot, you really are forgetful. Finally, Tim, I would like to help your audience support your program. On behalf of anyone who visits my site or calls me to discuss its content, I'll donate $10 to your PayPal account for each one calling until your next Freedom Friday broadcast. How's that sound, Tim?
Brother, you're something else, man. You're something else, brother.
But you've been to my site. Am I speaking the truth or am I not?
You're speaking the truth, man. We've talked before, and his plan is to hold politicians accountable and to get new people into politics who are not politicians. Which is exactly what we need is non-politicians.
That's what's happening right now. I mean, people are more interested. They want people elected who they can trust. And the only way you're going to trust the person who isn't a politician is that they have no political experience, because their political experience is not listening to their constituents. That's a big negative for them, and it's a big positive for people running for office now who don't have any political experience. Now, if they do, that might be a plus in some cases, but I'm willing to help people who want to run for office with their platform. In fact, I just put a kind of a template for a platform on my website that some people might find interesting to read. Anyway, I appreciate you reading this, Tim, and I hope you stay on the air for a long, long time. Now, you've got a lot of other people I've seen interviewed on your site that have very similar ideas, and they have a very similar audience, which I think is well above the average person visiting some of these other political sites. And I'm including, people like, Jimmy and Cenk don't really take people's calls. Yeah. But what's this other fellow that was fired and rehired? I haven't been on his program yet, but there's some people that actually do let people call in, but they don't really get a chance to present information like what I'm presenting. In fact, I don't know of any other website on the internet that has anything like it. Now, I could be blowing smoke up my own ass. I really don't know.
Right. It
But I
could be
need
out
people to call me and tell me, does this make any sense, or what's wrong with it, or what's right with it, and what can we do as a collection of citizens in a community to work together without we don't need really a political party. It might help, but we can act individually, according to my plan anyway. What I suggest to have some power, untapped power that we have in this 21st century. I mean, after all, we have computers. We carry computers in our hands, in our pockets every day, most people. And those are powerful instruments to do what I suggest that we do, and that's to have politicians poll all of or any of their constituents who want to be involved in their decisions on their website and show undeniable evidence whether or not they're following the wishes of their constituents or someone else.
All right, brother.
It's really that simple.
Well, look, I want to thank you for calling up. I want to thank you for the letter. Folks, go to truedemocracynow.org and give him a try. Contact him and let him know what you think of his idea. And remember, he's going to donate $10 to the show if you do that. So I want to make sure I send as many people as possible to truedemocracynow.org. If you can't get to the Tim Black Show, well, he'll give on your behalf. How about that? But give him a fair listen, though. Give him a fair listen and give him your honest feedback on his ideas and what direction he's trying to go. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you once again, my brother, for that phone call, man. All right. I tell you, man, things just work out some crazy ways sometimes. That's crazy. 864. My 864 number. Yeah, let me try this. 1 second. 864, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Payne from the Carolinas, also known as Eli. Anyway, I wanted to mention about something that it's a little bit personal. Part of it is because it involves my life and my father's life when he had it. Anyway, it's about the opioid thing. Okay. It was talked about from a caller earlier, made me want to call. Anyway, for start, I want to say we had an opioid crisis. I guess a lot of people know. Maybe some seem to forget. Now we focus on doctors, but we had an opioid crisis long before I was born, and I'm in my 40s. And its cause was not doctors; its cause was war. Remember Vietnam? So many people coming back. I guess those who are familiar anyway, coming back from heroin. I won't get into that whole thing. People can look into it if they don't know much about that. But my father was one of those people, and while he tried, like at Menlo Park in California and other places, and he graduated from these programs and all, but it never made a difference. Anyway, there's a lot of details I can share on that, but I've had firsthand experience with somebody out of that. This is my own dad, and there's a lot I could say, then it's messed with my life. So anyway, it goes back to at least the Vietnam War. So this opioid crisis ain't anything new, and a lot of doctors have played roles in it. I can say some, they didn't know any better. They didn't know, and like my dad, he's real good at conning doctors to get what he wanted, and so some doctors get played, and some, probably do it crookedly. But anyway, but they're not the cause. That's what people are focusing on. Anyway, he had a lot of medical issues. He was 100% disabled through the military, which from my understanding is very hard to get 100%. They rate you on percentages. And while I lived in the Carolinas, I was born out in Arizona, and I lived in Washington with him. When I got older, I tried to get a relationship with him again and had more issues. That was when I was 20. And that's when I really got even bigger taste of what it's like being with somebody who was like that. To give you a quick example, though, what it's like to be with somebody who's hooked on with that, like I said, his was heroin. And I can tell you something he told me before he died a couple of years ago. I mean, he told me this years ago, but he died a couple of years ago, though, in a military facility. he said that he was hooked on every drug there is. He said, you name it, whether it exists now, you know, or not. Like, it'd be one that you can't even get no more. You know, I guess like poppers or something. I don't know, Quaaludes, I don't know. But he didn't give examples. But he said he's hooked to it all, whether it's alcohol, drug, any kind of drug or anything. He said, but all he cared about now, at least back then when he was talking about it, was heroin or something that he could get, you know, that would, like a medication or something. If he couldn't get his heroin, that would take its place temporarily. That and then pot. And that was all he cared about. So even though he's addicted to everything else, as he put it, from understanding he did, he had a pancreas attack twice when he was in prison due to drinking, I was told from my family. It knocked all that out. There's a lot he had to say about that, and a lot of all I could share. But anyway, there's that point, I guess. That it's hard for me to talk on this because it's so personal and all. I want people to know that this isn't a new thing, and don't think just doctors. You know, this comes back from war causes problems with everything, whether it's with our economy, whether it's the opioid crisis thing, or so much else. You know. Anyway, the other thing is I've always wondered. I really like to know somebody. Nobody ever can really answer this. People just give their opinions. I have a lot of medical issues since I was born, you know, one of them being back problems. That runs my family. But there's been other issues, too, I don't really want to mention on here. But I've had since birth, and as it got worse as I gotten older. And I've always wondered, you know, well, hey, if a mother gets hooked on drugs really bad, and I think my dad done these drugs probably since, you know, he was a teenager. I wasn't born until he's like after 30 years old. So, yeah, I think he'd been doing this crap for at least 10 years probably. Before I was conceived. So if the mother is on drugs and gives birth to a child, it can mess with the child's, health conditions and all. I've always wondered, well, what about if the father is the one? You know, if there's some kind of DNA or genetics or whatever in his sperm cells that get messed up or something. I don't know. I've never been able to answer that. But anyway, so that's very curious. But the one I mentioned earlier about her back, my back is a problem I've had. Nobody can really ever explain it. Well, they probably could. They just don't care to go enough into it unless they really have to. But because of what I dealt with my dad, I'm terrified of any kind of opioid medications. And I've had one of my conditions is I have a chronic kidney stone problems. And one time it was so bad I had a surgery for it, and the doctor gave me some I forget the name of it. It was according to people take painkillers. It was something that was a mild dosage, but to me it was pretty strong, and I was already scared of it. So I asked him to say, "There's something else you can give me that's not this type of medication." And he says, "You know, I can give you this one right below. I forget what it's called. It starts with a D, I think. Everybody says, you know, taking that was almost like taking nothing. I don't really know, but he says it's still an opioid. I can give you that, and that's it. There's no other choices at all." And I was like, man, this sucks. So, because I was so scared of it, you know, I would nearly pass out in pain before I would take one. So, and I took it, so, you know, like that for about a week. After a week, and not even thinking like I should, way less than I should, I went up throwing away the bottle, and I started having these uncomfortable sensations and things happening, and I called a hotline, and they told me, hey, you're going through mild withdrawals. I'm like, oh, so this is what withdrawals feels like. This sucks. They say, yeah, well, that's mild ones you're going through. So there's that. But so now it's my back problems. That's another one I have. Two of my discs in my back are really bad, and something else going besides that throughout my life. All I will use is stuff like this hinge unit that I'm messing with right now, which does help a lot. Electricity it puts in there and really helps with the pain, because today's a bad day with that. And, you know, that one time is the only time. It's because of my worry that, because I've seen what it does. I've seen what it does to other people, but then I had my own father was like that. And then it's horrible. It's horrible stuff. And
yes, it is, brother.
To give you an idea what it does, my aunt, it was his sister, she's the one that pretty much raised me. She said before he went there, he'd give the shirt off his back kind of guy. I mean, he loved everybody, would help anybody out. I mean, he was like, wore his heart on his sleeve kind of guy. I mean, everything, best kind of person you can name. He said, but when he came back from the war and he was all hooked on all that stuff, she said she didn't even recognize her brother anymore. She said that, his mother tried to hide the car keys because she knew he was messed up, and he pulled a knife. I think it was on her. His sister put a knife on her and was threatening to kill her if he didn't give her the car keys, and she could see it in his eyes. He was dead serious. He didn't get the keys. She would have been dead, so she gave him the keys, kind of thing. That's the change this stuff made. I mean, the war, of course, had an effect on him. He had PTSD and Agent Orange and all that, but it was the drugs. And
right.
I give more stories and all that, but it's horrible. I want people to know that, focus more on war, because we're going into more wars now. At least wars that we're hearing about, of course, and don't think just doctors. Well, they might play a role, that they're not the cause of this crap, and this stuff is very, very bad. And anyway,
thank you.
If you can at all find any kind of therapy, like an electric TENS unit or anything, for your pain, if you're not on the stuff, try that first. I mean, I'm serious. It only takes just a little bit for a few days to put you into mode of withdrawals. And that's it. I just wanted to share this bit with you. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to talk about because it's personal, but I felt it was important to share at least as best I can. And that's it.
I hear you, Eli, brother. Thank you so much for calling up, man. And thank you for sharing your story and the story about your dad, my brother. I have a similar story about my own father, that my biological father, who is no longer with us, and it's eerily similar to the story you just told. And I didn't know him. I met him once. And the story that my mom tells me about about the transformation, the toll drugs took on him, and it changed him. And thank you, brother. Thank you, Eli. I'll make sure I've talked to 423 before. 423, have you had an opportunity to comment yet? Hello, 423.
This me, Tim?
Yeah, that's you.
I'm Brian Crosby. I'm from your chat.
Brian, what's up, man? How you doing, my brother? Hey.
I didn't think I was going to get on.
I picked you up earlier, I think, and you must not have heard me, man. Yeah. What's going on?
I got disconnected by Blog Talk. That's what happened.
Oh, okay. Talk to me, brother.
This is my first time calling.
Yeah, but you're always my guy. Like, when I have the shows, typically you're the guy that does the sound check, man, because you're, like, in there.
Yeah.
Like, earlier, you let me know if we got good audio, man. I want to thank you for that, brother.
I'm glad to support you, Tim.
So what's on your mind, man? Tell me something. I know one of these issues this week made you feel something. You got something to say.
Oh, yeah. With Doug Jones, did you hear about him taking down the KKK from 1961?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that about him, but they're just brushing that off like it's nothing.
Oh, it's something.
Oh, I know, man. I know.
It's something, especially there in the steep South. That's something. Give it up for that, yeah. I joke about him because, he barely beat Roy Moore, but no, man, like, taking on the KKK in the South, that's a big deal. It's probably like risked his life to do that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he was quoting Martin Luther King recently, too, so that's new.
Yeah, definitely, brother.
Did you hear about what happened with Barney recently?
No, what happened to him?
Some Clinton supporters were plotting to make up false sexual assault allegations against him.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Yeah, I saw where they were making those comments about, we can get 8 women to make up a story about Bernie that ought to sink them. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, it hurts the real victims, Tim.
Yeah, man. Weaponizing women against, weaponizing sexual assault in order to take down your political enemies. Horrible stuff, man. That's true deplorables. That's deplorables right there. Anybody who would use something that heinous against someone just because you don't like their politics.
I did call my representatives, and I mentioned you on the phone, telling them that, that's going to mess with your living, and that's, screwing net neutrality.
Well, look, man. Hey, look, Brian. Look, man, I got to go, man, but I want to thank Brian. I want to thank you for calling up, Brian, man. I'm glad you got through. Give it up for the Wolfpack on the line. Thank you, brother.
Well, thank you for taking my call.
You got it, Brian. Look, guys, Brian got through. I think I saw somebody in the chat. I think Brian saying if I could just get through. I didn't know what he was referring to. I did see that comment go through. But it's good he beat Roy Moore because Moore is gross. I agree with that. I do agree with that, Steph. Yeah, I'm not. Look. No, man. No. Don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad he won. The monologue is jokes. Of course I'm glad he won. I just don't think people should be walking around like this. Look what we did. Like, don't do that. Now, if you live in Alabama and you voted, hey, look, let me make this clear, man. Black women really came out for Roy Moore. I'm sorry. Damn. Black women really came out for Doug Jones. They got that thing done in Alabama. Black men came out too. We voted as a block. 96% of black voters voted for Doug Jones. I think it was like 95 or 97 or 98, 99, 98% of black women voted for Doug Jones. Like 90, low 90, like maybe 93% of black men voted for Doug Jones. So we both came out. That's pretty strong. You got to give it up for that. That's pretty strong. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just want to put that out there. Somebody was like, and I think, when I first was commenting on it, I was looking at these articles and they were saying women won the day. But like 60%, what was it? 60% of white women, 65% of white women voted for Roy Moore. And like, I don't know, like 80% of white men voted for Roy Moore. I was like, goodness, I couldn't believe it, man. I can't believe it, but I guess I better believe it. And that's the reason why I say if black voters start demanding more from the Democrats, it'll force them to be a better party. And then they won't be able to take the black vote for granted because without the black vote, they can't win elections, at least not in the South. Maybe they could win in New York, but if we could force them to have to stick to policies that help not only black folks but poor folks, because we intersect right there on the money tip. If you are any color and you are, financially strapped, the black community by and large recognizes and understands what that's about. That's why the poor people's movement is coming back, y'all. The poor people's movement is coming back. That's right. And they're looking at poverty as being a moral injustice. Right? Poverty is a moral injustice in the richest country in the history of countries. For there to be poverty here, for there to be homeless people here, like we say, if America is such a rich country, it makes no sense. We have veterans sleeping outside of perfectly heated buildings. That makes no sense. So how could that happen? How could that happen in the richest country in the world? It's a moral injustice, man. It's morally depraved, even. Forget Hillary calling Trump supporters deplorables. It's deplorable for the richest country in the history of countries not to make sure veterans, have shelter, or that children have lunch, or that seniors have medication, or come on. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. we start banding together on economic, poor people's movement, man. Not a D, not a R. Poor people's movement. All of us banding together. All right, guys, thank you so much for calling into the show. I have cleared the queue, and I feel good about that. That's my main goal when I do a show, is to give everybody who's in the queue an opportunity to have their voice heard, man, to make their comments. And I want to thank you for supporting this show, man, making it be what it is, making it grow. I just want to say thank you. Please continue to do so. Happy holidays to you. I'll see you again on Monday. Don't forget Monday, Donna Brazil. I will be interviewing Donna Brazil. I'm going to tweet about it to let people know. I'm going to announce it so that people know about the show, because it's been a while since I talked about it, but she made the rounds on all the networks and different things and schedules, and she touring and she did all this stuff. So finally we're back to it. So now it's going to happen, guys. So thank you so much for being a part of this show. I'll see you on Monday. And as you know, guys, I do 3 shows now. I do the Coffee with Tim Black. I do the Black Word Today show. And then I do Tim Black at Night show. And on Fridays, we got Freedom Friday. So I'm the hardest working man in media. I just want to keep saying that so people know I'm the hardest working man in independent media, bar none. And that includes women. I'm the hardest working person in independent media. Show me somebody who work harder. Show them to me. Who does 3 shows a day? Some people can't do 3 shows a week. But see, I do this full time. So I'm kind of, this is what I do. This is my life. So send me. I need content. I need story ideas. Send me content. Send me story ideas to tim@timblacktv.com. All right? I may not get back immediately, but I will get back to you. So make sure you do that. All right? Type it up, send it out. I mean it, all right? I want to give a shout out to everybody to my moderators, to the people that try to keep the trolling at a bay, to the people that help clean up the craziness sometimes that goes on, and just people who post links and help out, who moderate the shows. Shout out to Momo Pineno, Iron Oz, Jennifer Vickers, Stephanie Chateau, not No More Domination. Truth Can't Be Silenced. Truth Can't Be Silenced. You out there, brother? My brother. Roseanne Motorama. I got who else I got in the Facebook side of the game, man? I can't even get to my Facebook. I got a couple people on Facebook. I got Jennifer Vickers. I got Roseanne. I have is it Uli? Who is my person on Facebook? I got somebody else on Facebook, man, and I feel bad because I can't find them. Who has that wrench? I made a couple more people moderators. I feel so bad. Your people that help me out, they volunteer their time. I just want to make sure I get everybody. All right. All my people that comment in the comment sections: Sherry Christ, Sandra Lee, James Mandolea, Margarita Silva. Poor People's Movement. Thank you, Margarita. You know what's up. It was in my spirit, man. I had to say that. Get that out there. Don't forget, guys, go to truedemocracy.org. truedemocracynow.org. That's it. truedemocracynow.org. All right? And that's it. Oh, God, what is this? Anyway, I don't know what that was. So anyway, guys, that's it. Have a great weekend. Everybody be safe. All my people on YouTube, all my great people on YouTube, all my people on Periscope. Periscope, I will give you more love, but I can't see you. Captain Obvious, Freedom Fighter, 57, Stephanie Chateau, the Facebook wrench. Yeah. No more donations. Low key, no worries. Get Donna a couple glasses of wine for the interview. Give her a couple glasses of wine for the interview. Hey, man, watch her. You know what? She drink them too. Me and I bet you we can sit down and have a glass of wine and really get to the bottom of everything. No, everything. But it's going to be an interesting interview, guys. I'm going to do you proud. I guarantee I'm going to do my best to do the best job I can do, and I guarantee you that. So, all right. Thank you, Momo Pineno, for still hanging in there, man. It's good to see you. Beth Lamb. Kevin Eckert. All right, guys, I'm gone. I ain't going to keep you no more. What's up, Red Syrup? I ain't going to keep you guys no more. Have a great weekend. Tell somebody you love them. Mend the fence with a friend. Like, we got too much going on. The world is crazy. Build bridges, not barriers, not walls. Come on, guys, do it. And know this, Poor People's movement is important because we have something in common, whether we want to know it, whether we realize it or not. That is the fact that we're all being screwed over. We're all being screwed over. See?
You gonna eat your cornbread.
The whole objective is for the powers that be to take our cornbread. If you don't know, your cornbread is whatever you hold sacred, whatever's important to you. It could be your ability to take care of your family. It could be your privacy. It could be your rights. It could be your access. These are the things. They want to control the narrative and control us. That's part of the equation. That's what they're trying to do. And see, you have to be like this. You have to say,
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
You have to put in your mind, you have to make your mind up that no one's going to take your cornbread. That you are willing to stand up for what is yours. You need to stand up for something better. You have to demand more out of these politicians, demand more out of these policies, demand more out of these parties. We have to demand more. That's what we have to do, nigga. If we don't, see, this is the thing.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Because when they realize that you're not really serious, that you're just going to let them back in the door, you're going to dance with the wolves, you're going to sleep with sleeping dogs, you're going to do that, you're just going to hang out, you're going to overlook the BS, you're going to overlook the corruption because, well, what else can we do? Well, you know what? When you do that, you are succumbing to bullshit. When you do that, you are playing right into their hands. Like the Allstate hands, you are playing into the Allstate hands. This is not a good thing. It's not. All relationships, all of them should have limits. It's got to be a limit to what you will accept. And there has to be demands that you will make. All right? There has to be criteria. So as we band together, the Poor People's Movement is about holding those accountable and making sure that people, humanity, that all of us are treated like humans and that we get the respect that we deserve. In the country we helped keep running. This is our country. All right? And if we don't hold them accountable and if we don't make demands on our politicians, on the power structure, then, well, hell.
There's going to be consequences and repercussions.
There's going to be consequences and repercussions, y'all. You better believe it. Look, guys, my favorite comedian is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle had a scene where he says, "Let's
sprinkle some crack on them and get out of here."
Sprinkle some crack on them and get out of there. Well, you know what? When you talk to somebody this weekend, you're trying to wake them up. You're trying to make them understand what's going on in this world, and you realize that they're not listening, that they're just dead set on their ways because they watch Fox News or they watch CNN or MSNBC. Well, you know what? Don't argue with them. Don't argue with them. What you do is you sprinkle some facts on them and you get out of there.
Sprinkle some crack on them and get out of here.
Drop a little facts on them and get up out of there. No time to argue. I love you. I'll see you back here next week. Much love, everybody. Go to TimBlackTV.com. Become a member of my wolf pack. We do it right or we don't do it at all. I'll see you the next time.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com.
Say good night to the black guy. Come on. The last time you're going to see a black guy like this again.